Hey everybody, Sean from Hand to Heart Tarot. Coming to you. I was really excited about this Storybook Tuesday. As always, I'm getting it from the Tarot of the Divine. Today we have the Two of Coins, and the story that we're going to be doing is The Woman Who Married a Bear. So this comes from the Pacific Northwest, and when I was researching the full story, there was a lot of different tribes that had different stories, but they were pretty much the same, just had different names. There was one with a polar bear even. So I took the one that I liked the best, and I'm bringing it to you now. So I hope that you enjoy it. All right, without further ado, let's do it. All right, here we go. This is the story of The Woman Who Married a Bear. Yasmin was the chief's daughter. She was vain and proud. She was always combing her long brown hair, waiting for people to say how beautiful it was and how her skin was soft. She believed she did not have to behave like the others and that everyone should respect her because of her father. One day, she went into the forest to pick berries with the other girls from the tribe. As they walked further and further under the trees, the others became nervous. They started to sing softly. "Why are you singing?" asked Yasmin. "We are frightened of disturbing the animals," said one. "We need to let them know we are coming, especially the bears." "Bears are ugly and smelly," sniffed Yasmin. "I do not care if I disturb them." "Please do not say that," begged another. "They will hear you and be very angry." "Let them," said Yasmin. "I am the chief's daughter, and I do not have to worry about disturbing smelly old bears." They came to a clearing and were even more scared to be in the open. When they saw bushes full of berries, they started to fill their baskets. The day went quickly and they forgot all about the bears as they laughed and talked while they picked the fruit. When the sun began to prepare for sleep, their baskets were full. "We must leave now," one girl said to Yasmin, "before it gets dark. The animals are not going to like us disturbing their sleep." "Why should I care?" asked Yasmin. "I want to pick more berries." The others were frightened and started walking. Yasmin sighed and followed them, but then she saw another bush with the biggest and juiciest berries all over it. "I must pick those," she said to herself. "I'll go back with the best berries, and the people will say, 'Of course, she is the chief's daughter.'" Quickly, she picked the berries until her basket was overflowing. The others were out of sight, singing and talking, not noticing that Yasmin was not with them. She rushed to catch up, and the strap on her basket broke, and all the berries spilled onto the ground. As she bent to scoop them up, a handsome young man appeared, wrapped in a bearskin cloak. "Can I help you, Yasmin?" he asked. "How do you know my name?" asked the girl. "Everyone knows the beautiful Yasmin, the chief's daughter. You are so beautiful. You must be her." "That is true," said Yasmin. "Everyone knows of my beauty." When they had filled the basket again, the young man fixed the strap so Yasmin could carry it. The sun was almost gone to sleep, and the forest was becoming dark. "It's too late for you to walk back to your village," the young man said. "My people would be honored if you would stay with us overnight." Yasmin did not know what to do, so she shook her long black hair vainly and said she would stay. When they came to his village, she saw other people, all wearing bearskin cloaks. The women would not speak or look at her. They kept their eyes on the ground. The young man led her to the center of the village, where people were sitting around a fire. She was welcomed by the chief, who was old and wore a crown made of bear claws. After everyone had eaten and talked, the chief stood up and looked at Yasmin. "You will stay in this village forever and marry my young nephew, who brought you here." "I will not," shouted Yasmin. "I am Yasmin, daughter of the chief of my tribe." "Enough, I have spoken," said the old man. He waved the two men, and they took her to her husband's lodge. Standing inside, scared and confused, Yasmin heard a little voice squeaking, Yasmin! Yasmin! She looked around but couldn't see anyone. Then she felt something tugging at her dress. Looking down, she saw the tiny mouse woman. Yasmin, listen to me. This is very important. These are the bear people. The chief heard you say that bears were dirty and smelly, and that you were not afraid of them. And he was angry. You must show respect to your husband and always obey him. If you do not, you will be made a slave like the other women. And if you try to escape, the bear people will become very angry again and kill you, squeaked Mouse Woman. Yasmin understood the warning and changed her ways. She became respectful and obeyed her husband. She noticed that when the men left the village, they turned into bears, and when they returned, they became men again. She was no longer vain and proud. She worked hard and stayed with the bear people for a long time. She gave birth to 2 sons, who were both half man and half bear. Yasmin's husband was kind to her, and Mouse Woman taught her many things. But she missed her family. One day, strangers were seen outside the village. Yasmin's husband told her the men were her brothers. They found bear tracks when you went missing, and they have killed many of my people since then. They will not stop looking for you. He looked at Yasmin sadly. I've dreamed that they will kill me. I know you love them very much, and I will not hurt them. I ask that they treat me with respect as you have, Yasmin. They must not drag my body on the ground after they have taken my skin. My feathers must be placed behind my ears and red ochre rubbed on my back. He stroked Yasmin's long black hair and said goodbye to his sons. Then he put on his bear cloak and started to walk out of the village. Yasmin followed him and saw him turn into a bear. Holding his arms out in front of him, he went to meet the brothers. He let them kill him without struggling. Yasmin, our sister, it is so good to see you again, shouted the brothers. Yasmin cried for her dead husband, and with joy to see her brothers again. She made them treat her husband's body as he had asked, and they took her and her 2 sons back to her father's village. The people from her tribe looked at her closely and were amazed to see soft brown hair growing on her beautiful skin. She was no longer fully human. Yasmin told her father, the chief, I do not feel comfortable living with people now. May I live in the small house at the edge of the village? Yes, my daughter, you can, said her father. Yasmin took her 2 cubs and lived in the small house. One day, one of her brothers brought her some bear skins to make warm clothing for the winter. Yasmin and her children put on the skins around them and turned into bears forever. She took the cubs into the mountain, and they were never seen again. The people of her tribe remembered how the daughter of their chief had married a bear and taught them to respect any bear that they killed. They followed her teachings and were very successful hunters. With this story and the 2 coins, it just reminds me that there are 2 sides to every coin. And like Yasmin in the beginning, she had no care as to how to treat a bear. She thought that they were dirty and vile until she actually lived with them. And in the end, that's what she wanted to be ultimately, was a bear. So it just makes me think, when we go and with friends, with family, and we don't see eye to eye, what would happen if we actually took the time to listen to them? We might not agree still, but we might actually understand where they're coming from. So that's what I have for you guys. Just take a moment when we don't see eye to eye and maybe learn something from somebody. So I can't wait to talk to you guys again. Until then, enjoy your evening. Thank you.